What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr Wargames, and today I am bringing you the answer to the question to buy or not to buy Photon Hypernova. This is the brand new core set which is due to be released officially next week, but it is sneak peek weekend in a few days time. So the question is going to be how much do you buy, if any, and what you should be looking out for within the set. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So, Photon Hypernova is the first core set of 2023 and it provides us with support over lots of legacy decks, well, kind of legacy decks in the form of stuff like generators, gishkis and many more. You also get small bits of support for stuff like labyrinths, as well as the big load of support for galaxies and of course Kashtira's, the meta chasing section. Now I have done a separate video over all 10 secrets that are within this set, so you can see them ranked from best to worst, or kind of what you should be waiting for, what you should be buying into, and where you feel the money should be. So I'm going to be looking at the set as a whole, and I'm also going to put up all of the images that I have found. At the time of recording this video, we haven't had the 5th Starlight officially confirmed, but it is a lot of speculation that it's triple tactic thrusting. God, what a weird name for that one. And we'll talk about that card as we go. The other 4 Starlights are, of course, Mirror Jade, as well as the Dust Dragon, so branded players, big oof if you want to be trying to make that deck completely max rarity, because in theory you would have 2 ultimate rares in the form of Fauna Valbaz and Aluba, and then you'll have 3 Starlight rares in Mirror Jade, the Dust Dragon, and of course Albalonatus. Woof. We then also have, of course, the Kashtira Arise Heart, which I think is a great Starlight, and I'm definitely going to be looking out for it myself personally. So Arise Heart can actually rank on top of any Kashtira monster as long as a Shangri-La effect has been activated that turn. So why is that so splashable and usable? Well, the fact is, if you were to play something like Change of Heart, Mind Control, or even Triple Tactics Talents, as long as Shangri-La has activated that turn, and your opponent activates another monster effect during the main phase in the form of Triple Tactic Talents, you could actually steal their Kashtira monster and then rank up into your own Arise Heart. Arise Heart is also a walking talking macro Cosmo that can attach from the banish zone, as well as being able to banish cards as well. It's an incredibly powerful boss monster, and that is why the Kashtiras are getting the biggest share of the secrets, with getting 3 secrets and I believe 2 to 3 ultra rares. So when you're looking at the Kashtiras themselves, it is one of the ones that if you've already spent 150 to about £200 on the first wave, you're going to be looking at about £300 on the second wave. So it's entirely up to you if you want to be diving headfirst into what is possibly going to be one of the main meta contenders, depending on what a ban list does to tier elements and or Flunderees, as well as a very expensive engine in the form of Fenrirs and everything else. Now, as I've already mentioned, we've gone through the secret rares of this set as well, but just so you can get a refresher, there's Galaxy Photon Dragon, Gigantic Champion Sargus, so which is the generic rank 8, which is really kind of cool. You've got the Kashtira Arise Heart, Kashtira Theosis, Pressured Planet, which is obviously the field spell for the Kashtiras, Triple Tactic Thrust, White Bridge, Gold Pride Leo, Gold Pride The Crowd Goes Wild. So 10 very good secrets. So if you're just looking at those in a sense, I would say, in my opinion, the weakest one is the White Bridge or the Gold Pride cards, but even then they're still fairly decent. The Gold Prides are a brand new TCG exclusive, which, quite like Goatees, work around banishing cards, but also work around synchro summoning during your opponent's turn, which is really kind of cool as well. Moving on to the Ultra Rares, of course, we've got the Kashtira Rise Heart, Tier Elements Kashtira, the Bigram Shelled Emperor, the Dust Dragon. You've then obviously got the Striking Dragon, which is the other fusion, the brand new fusion for the branded. You've got Chaos Archfiend, you've got number 62 Neon Galaxy Photon, you've got Leviator, I believe, Generator Boss of Shadows, Trevi Karma, Big Welcome Labyrinth, there we go, Bullfighter Bard, Captain Kari, Gold Pride Star Leon. So the brand new Bystial Drake Swerve is also a common, which is great. And then you get some of these really kind of cool spell cards or new cards that have been imported as well, or just brand new TCG exclusives in the form of Made to Order Mermaid Outfitter, which reads as follows. Target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, then you can add 1 card from your deck to the hand the same name as that banished card. Now keep in mind, it is any card, so if they play Pot of Prosperity, cool, I'm going to take that. If they've milled an Evenly Matched, if they've milled a Dark World No More, you can go, cool, banish that, search out my own copy. So shout out to Rufio for the image on this one, he got it from his early box opening. We've already talked about the 5 starlights. I'll leave the images up of the full deck list so you can set list so you can see everything there. So this is from Dual Daddy. They're usually pretty good at this stuff. The brand new Plunder card is a super rare, so yoff on that one. Absolutely buzzing for that. I think you've got support for Plunders, you've got Galaxy Eyes, you've got Cash Tearers, you've then of course got Tyranniments in theory, as well as Scareclaws do get a nice little bit of support as well. We've also got the import of the Gravekeeper's Engraving, which basically shuts out the graveyard, which is a big oof to any graveyard related decks as well. So overall, looking at the set, I believe the secret rares are actually really kind of cool. I feel the Starlight rares are very good choices as well. Yes, okay, maybe the Kashtira players will go for the Rise Heart and the Branded players will be going for the 2 Branded cards. The other Starlight is the Link 5 Tri-Brigade monster, which is probably like one of the best artworks around. Again, I'll be putting the images up on the screen so you can see them as we go. And then the last one is not fully confirmed, or I personally haven't seen an image at the time of recording this video, but it is the Triple Tactic Frost. Now, for those of you that don't know what Frost is if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can set a normal spell or trap directly from your deck, or if they control a monster, you get to add it to the hand. So it's a very nice way of being able to search out something like a Dark World No More, something like a evenly matched if you're going second, but also going first, it can get you some of your core cards. The issue is, the card that is set off of Frosting cannot be activated that turn, so to get the most benefit from it, you need your opponent to have a monster, but that's where, of course, the buy steals are going to come back into play. Whether or not they're going to see a huge amount of play or not really does remain to be seen. So overall, the Secrets are really good, the Starlights are really good, the Ultras are pretty decent, and even at the lower ends, when you're looking at the Commons and the Supers, they're all really good shouts from Konami as well. So I feel that they got the rarities way down correct on this one. When you're looking at your sneak peek events, it's definitely worth going, in my opinion. Like I say every time, no matter how good or bad the set is, it's definitely worth going to a sneak peek because you never know what you pull. And if you are looking to be selling cards, the sneak peek will be where most of the cards will be at an overflated price. You can make the most profit for anyone that is desperate to get hold of Kashtira's or, of course, anything else along the lines that you do pull. When you're looking at boxes and cases and everything else like that, again, it comes down to how much you actually want or how much you actually need. If you want the Kashtira stuff, it can be very difficult. I will put a picture up online of what supposedly looks like a case opening. So you can see that not all of the secrets are pulled at free, but they do seem to be relatively balanced. When you're looking at the resale value of buying a case, it can get a little bit more tricky to make your money back if you're looking to invest it that way. And it also will then depend on if a ban list happens before or after a YCS, and if it doesn't, how well Kashtira's do following that YCS events, because keep in mind there are 3 YCSs all on the same day, which is like the 1st and 2nd of April of this year as well. So that will kind of show us whether Kashtira's over eclipse the Tyranniments and they might not need as much of a hit, or if Tyranniments are still going to be incredibly powerful. Yes, of course, we can go off of the OCG and the way that that is being played as well. But keep in mind, the game's played completely differently in the OCG compared to the TCG. In regards to single stable cards you might want to be looking at picking up, Triple Tactic Frost and of course the Gravekeeper's Engraving are both really cool staple spell cards to be picking up. Whether they're going to be going into a main deck or a side deck, they're definitely cards that may maintain value over time. If you are a rank 8 deck, you can obviously be looking at Sargus. I think Sargus is actually a really cool rank 8 card. And if you are a trap control deck, looking at Trap Tricks and Labyrinths, Labyrinths have got some decent investment. That being said, when you're looking at cards such as Generators, or you are looking at the Labyrinths, buying one box might be pretty decent. And if you do just want the brand new buy steal, and then something like your Plunder Patrol ship, again, they're kind of cool, little interesting investments, because you can buy a box, you possibly should be getting the commons, you should be getting the supers, and then whatever secrets or ultras you get, it's just a benefit for you for what you can trade off to get anything else that you might want. If you don't pull the staple cards you're looking for, like Frost and, of course, Engraving, you can then upgrade those or trade into those should you pull something like the Kashtira Field Spell, the Theosis, or, of course, the Arise Heart as well. So you've got loads of options, depending on if you're looking to trade in or to get into a core. If you're looking to get into a Kashtira core, you're probably a little bit better off buying the single just to get everything you need rather than gambling it. But then if you're like, you know what, I actually want the staple cards of Engraving and of course the Frost, and I want all the Kashtira stuff, then it's definitely worth looking at buying a case, because paying about £600 to £700 on the case might actually work out a little bit cheaper, especially when the pre-orders for a Kashtira core just from this set is getting anywhere from £450 to about £500, and then that means that you've only got a £200 bracket that can then be found in the remaining secrets that you could be getting from your cases and the slow possibility, or the small possibility, of a Starlight rare, which can then tip your profit margin into the green, or if you get one that you really want to keep, can actually give you a very big advantage on the rest. As I do feel that something like Mirror Jade, as it is a staple in branded decks, may be looking at around about £150 to £200. I feel the Arise Hearts will be about £150 to £200 themselves as well. The Dust Dragon, I feel, might drop down to £100, depending on how much or how developed the branded deck gets. And then you look at the Link 5 Shurag that we get in this set as well. That will probably be about your £100 Starlight rare. And then the Frosting will probably go alongside your stuff like Starlight Lightning Storms, Ultimate Slayers, and of course Starlight Triple Tactic Talents, at being a very good side deck card that could be reaching the heights of £200 to £300 possibly as well. Anyway, I hope that has given you a bit of a price breakdown. Just as a recap, should you be going to your sneak peek events? 100% yes. Should you be buying boxes of this set? Well, actually very highly likely that you should be doing something like that, because I feel that this box is actually one of the best we've seen for a long time. I would take it as far back as Rise of the Duelist, and Rise of the Duelist introduced us to Dogmaticas. It also gave us the secret version of Fauna of Albaz, Nadia's Servant, alongside Forbidden Droplet and Triple Tactics as well. So with a set like this, when you're looking at Engravings, not on the same level as Droplets, but kind of looking at them in regards to like a staple or a side deck card that can come in and out of formats, definitely a good card. You can put the two tactics side by side as well, and then you're looking at the support cards for the Kashteras, which is going to dominate the secret rare kind of pull. But then you also look at the Sagas, you look at the Whitebridge, you also look at the Golden Prides. All it takes is the second batch of Golden Pride stuff to be broken, or when the OCG get the Golden Pride stuff, to then to introduce a card that makes the deck incredibly powerful, and straight away the value of a core like that will go through the roof. It is a bit of a gamble, but quite like Goatees, especially with the first batch, you're best off waiting for them to drop down and then slide in, pick them up, and go from there. Keeping in mind as well, the Gold Pride Leo is also the promo card that you can get at your sneak peek events, so it's definitely worth going, and especially with packs retailing anywhere from about £3.50 to £4.50 each, going to a sneak event and paying £20 to get 5 packs plus the field spell, a chance at a promo, and a really cool map, which I put up at the start and I'll put up now as well, is definitely worth doing in my opinion. From that point on, it then comes down to how much you want. If you want loads of the little stuff, it's probably worth buying a box, because you'll get all those little bits and then you can trade the higher value stuff for either money back or for cards that you might want to be digging into. If you're looking for just one particular core, you might be better off with singles, but if you're looking for core and the staples, which this set definitely has in abundance, you can definitely be going for a bigger batch and be looking at something close to a case worth as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.